morning. My name is Derrick Lawson, and today I will be giving you a persuasive speech on drinking in the military. General purpose is to highlight the dangers. The specific is to give you an idea what drinking and socializing can cause. The general idea is to show evidence that attribute to drinking alcoholic beverage while enlisted in the armed services. Is drinking a problem in the military? Many of us may want to admit that it is, but I for one know that drinking in the military is a problem. As a fairly young soldier, I often seen my fair share of drinking. Drinking sometimes destroy one's career, ultimately one's life. We as soldiers may view drinking as a social and necessary substance. We have a good time with friends and comrades, but if we stop just for a moment, we would realize the depth of this problem. My goal today here is to give you, the audience, an overall understanding of the studies done by the Veterans Affairs Medical Center. To begin, let's analyze drinking and why it's so prevalent in our military. Although the government spent millions of dollars combating this problem, to de-glamorize drinking, financial support has decreased. Drinking has increased while the money decreased. I find that absurd because if we don't help our own, who's going to help us? This problem is deeply rooted in our military system and affects are numerous and permanent. What major step can we take to aid this problem? Well, I've asked myself that question several times. Working in different ways to effectively attack this epidemic is going to take more than money. A lot of folks who truly see this devastating problem. The Pentagon spent $2 million to initiate That Guy program. The program recommends that service members reject bench drinking because it detracts from things that you care about, like family, money, friends. Are you convinced? Well, in my effort to elaborate about a not so glamorous situation about our military, I hope you are. I went into this topic knowing that we had a real drinking problem in our service. But reading more documented occurrence gave me even a more in-depth look, a more in-depth understanding of the issue. Serious crimes, mental and emotional issues. From my experience as a soldier who chose to remain sober, especially while in uniform, has widened my awareness about this issue. I have seen young soldiers end their career before it even begins. I have seen fatalities from DUIs. I even seen family destroyed, and I am only one of many soldiers. I can only imagine your stories. Think about it, and if you can, help someone that you know are currently going through these issues. The military launches advertisement, That Guy, hoping to glamorize drinking, hoping to get attention of others, hoping to make that difference in a soldier's life. Ways they approach is by pouring money, establish Army substance abuse programs, and at the unit level, establish a random breathalyzer system to test if soldiers are drunk in duty. To conclude, we may not realize it, but alcohol is the beginning. It leads to drug usage, and crime. Yes, in this military. There are reports of soldiers pulling guns on each other. This sounds like a private war. Amongst others, there is more gruesome crime committed by groups of our U.S. soldiers. In case you didn't know, there are soldiers in Iraq raping, killing families after drinking several cans of local whiskeys supplied by Iraqi soldiers. You don't see a problem here? Well, I guess you're too sober. Despite the military ban on all alcoholic beverage in Iraq and Afghanistan, liquor is cheap and easy to find. Soldiers are finding ways to self-medicate the combat stress, depression, frustrations of extended deployment, said military defense commanders and doctors who treat soldiers emotionally. To summarize, I told you a fairly easy to follow story in our military drinking problem. The Pentagon is trying to combat with money. The Pentagon create advertisements, that guy, to spread the awareness of bench drinking. However, the problems still remain. At this time, what are your questions?
Yeah, Soren, I have one. How is sexual assault linked to alcohol?
One way you could link sexual assault to alcohol is drinking sometimes gets you somewhat aggressive. And when one is aggressive, it could lead up to a potential assault.
I have a question. How easy is it to get treatment for alcoholics?
It's very easy to get treatment based on the fact that the Army have a substance abuse program. We tend to call it, ASAP. And one way you could get that is by self-referral or commander's referral.
Good question.
Yeah, question. Who's at risk of binge drinking?
Typically, you have young soldiers that's at risk. Soldiers that maybe don't have much friends. Eventually, they get a little bit of friends, and friends are able to influence some of their social activity. And drinking is always involved, and that's how you tend to have binge drinking come into play. If there are no further questions, that concludes my speech. Thank you very much, and have a nice day. Once again, thank you very much. Sat, you should have get the last
Sound.
piece.
Check sound.
Yeah, the sound is good.
42.